Hello. Welcome everybody. Put yourself on mute as you come in. Once I start introducing people, I will have more time to put some links in the chats. Excuse my voice. I am a little sick, so I'm trying. I hope that my voice can stay strong for an hour. I was like, I just need you for an hour. Come on, you can do this. Okay, welcome everybody. Thank you so much for being here. We're waiting for a few more people. Could you please put yourself on mute while the others are talking? This event will be recorded for those who missed the chance to be here. As you can see, I'm still going back and forth, letting people in. Okay, I think we're ready. So welcome to everyone to Women in Podcasting Power Network for podcasters and podcast guests. My name is Francie. I am originally from Puerto Rico, but I live in Kansas. I am the host of Life with Francie podcast, a place to have conversations about mental health, self-love, hobbies, and more. You can find it in all major platforms. And as of right now, I'm just using my Linktree/Life with Francie. If you like to work with me, thank you for being here. I'm excited to network with all of you. You will get a chance to introduce yourself and your podcast or expertise shortly, because we have a decent group today. I asked to keep it short and sweet. And then after we introduce ourselves, if we have time, we will network with each other and ask a few questions to get to know each other. Now, if you haven't done so already, join us over the Women in Podcasting community, which is womeninpodcasting.group. If you're looking for tips on starting, growing, and monetizing your podcast, check out the Woman in Podcasting.show. For more information about VIP perks and becoming a member of the Woman in Podcasting Network, you can go to womaninpodcasting.net. And last but not least, if you like more help with monetizing your podcast, join us in the Elevating You Mastermind. You can get in right now, and as a bonus, you will get a one-on-one with Jennifer Hensel. If you use my link, womaninpodcasting.net/Francie. Excuse me. Before we start, I will have all of the links I mentioned in the chat. You should do the same about your show or your expertise. Also, we added the Google Drive, but right now it's not working. I told Jennifer about it, so you can use the Google Drive instead. Now let's get the show started. Let us know if you're a podcaster or podcast guest or both. I am gonna start with Michelle Sands.
Oh my goodness, thank you so much. I appreciate that you're here tonight when you are having such a challenge speaking right now. But thank you for being here. This is my first time on this network guest. I'm a podcast guest, so I do not have a podcast, but I have been a guest on others' podcasts in the past. I work with women, so I help women unleash their potential and design their ideal career with passion, purpose, and possibilities. And I truly believe that it's important for women to work, to earn an income in what they love and what they're passionate about, Because if you're not living your full potential and you're not designing your ideal career and doing what you love, then what are you doing? Why are you doing this? And for me, one of the things that I really understood, and this is about 24 years ago, and I know I have 1 minute, but it really hit home for me when my son was barely 1 year old. My husband came home, looked me in the eye and said, "I don't think I love you anymore, and I want out." And I had given up my career. I let that go so that I could be a stay-at-home mom. And while there's a lot more to that story, one of the things that I knew I could do really well was always get a job, not just any job, but jobs that I loved and could flourish in. So my expertise really is in not just finding a job that you love, but designing one, creating those opportunities, being passionate, discovering and rediscovering what is your purpose, and then stepping into your possibilities. So thank you for, again, having me here. I'm glad I could participate in this networking group.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Dawn, can we go to you next?
Yeah, hi, my name is Dawn Calvinisti. I live in Guatemala and I'm the host of Imperfection in Progress podcast, which is launching in January. And this is really for people pleasers, perfectionists, procrastinators that are looking to find more joy and less stress in their day-to-day. The podcast is interview style and it's featuring guest experts who help women get unstuck and move out of being one or all of these 3 Ps in order to find a more purposeful and fulfilled life. And I'm also a podcast guest. My area of expertise is in natural health, and this includes mental and emotional and the mindset behind that. So I've been on multiple podcasts for those areas as well. And I also have a membership area and run online summits where I love to have space for speakers to be able to share with my audience as well in these areas.
Awesome. Thank you. I love that. Oh, somebody just trying to join in. Hi, Nikki. Find your delight. I like that.
Hi, well, thank you. I'm Nikki H. I also am coming off having a little bit of a lost voice, so excuse my scratchiness if there is any. I am based in San Diego, California, although it doesn't sound like it because I'm originally from South Africa, but I've lived here for 26 years. I am a creativity coach and a dance coach, an author and a speaker and an MC, and I'm a podcast guest. And I help entrepreneurs, coaches, and creatives to activate their creativity so that they can have more fun and be more creative in their lives and their businesses day to day. And I can talk about how to be more creative, gaining insight into the creative process, and establishing consistent creative practice, and also on how to overcome creative block. And in general, I love collaborations of all kinds. So, doing interviews, guest trainings, podcast summits, Facebook groups, all of the good stuff. And I also love getting to know new people by Zoom coffee or tea. So that's what I'm interested in and what I can provide. And if you'd like to connect with me very easily, just email me, findyourdelight@gmail.com, or you can find me on everywhere with Find Your Delight. And the other thing I wanted to mention is one of the things that I offer is a free guide, which is 5 ways to activate creativity for your audience members. And that's me in a nutshell.
Awesome. Thank you so much for sharing with us. Linda? Hello.
Hi, everyone. I'm glad to be here. First time actually being here. So I guess I'm a newbie, maybe like some of you. I'm Dr. Linda Marquez Gadine, and I help women become the CEO of their health so that they can be unlimited. I'm also an author, speaker, and currently still in practicing patients. And I had a podcast, but right now we're on hiatus, but I'm more about being a guest on other people's podcasts, more women, because what I teach is everything is natural and drugless. I work with a lot of women specializing in hormones, a natural drugless approach, and also with thyroid issues. It's another one I work with a lot of women, and just releasing the weight and keeping it off forever. So those are three of the topics that I do. I do discuss a lot. I've done a lot of workshops on that, and currently we're in the process of launching a new platform. It's called CEO of Your Health Academy. So that's where women can come on, and they're going to get the help and the support with going through the different programs that we have. So that's a little bit about me. Been doing this for over 20 some years, so I'm really happy to be here.
Awesome. Thank you for sharing. Starlight.
Hi, thank you, everybody. Linda, if you want to put how to get in touch with you in the chat, that'd be dope, because I'd love to connect after this. So it might seem like magic, but there are powerful ways to create a self-sustaining, connected, and lucrative community in the digital space. My name is Starlight, and my company's name is Bottled Lightning. I help impact-focused entrepreneurs scale their business so that they can reach more people while working less and get free of the grind. I am a business coach, a business growth strategist who specializes in launching and growing transformative communities. I can offer your audience all kinds of actionable, strategic, and inspiring advice, from growing a community, creating a business that leaves a bright mark on the world, to living the life that you want on your own terms. I have several talks prepared. I'm also open for all sorts of discussion type interviews. I have an arsenal of tools and resources that I can offer your audience that are relevant or impactful to whatever topics you'd like me to share with your audience. I'm also super open to all sorts of collaboration and work with a lot of women who focus on collaboration. So if you're looking to be a part of summits or bundles or that sort of thing as well, I'm just kind of a good person to keep in your orbit. And I'm definitely interested in learning more about whatever opportunities you have for collaborating. You can DM me on just about every social media platform at iBottleLightning. That's the same username across all of them. Or you can reach me at iBottleLightning@gmail.com. Thank you so much. I'm delighted to be here, by the way.
Oh, thank you. You're so nice. Deborah, you're going next.
Hi, everybody. I'm Deborah Heim. I am the podcast host of The Alternative Hair Alchemist. And that is a podcast about wigs and toppers and all of the mind stuff that goes along with it. I've had alopecia for like 25 years. I wear life in a wig, and there's such a stigma and a fear of wigs, and nobody talks about it. So I started my show to do that from the perspective of someone that wears wigs every day and doesn't look like it, but also my shop. I was a registered nurse for 35 years. I opened up my own wig shop because wig shopping can be a drag. I designed it to be totally take the whole person into account and restore you more to wholeness. So, you know, I talk about the shop, I talk about alternative hair and all of those things. So I just came to see other women in podcasting because I don't know anybody. So I'm glad to meet you all, and thanks.
That's awesome. And yeah, this is like, what's the purpose of the event? To get to know each other, because I don't know about you, but like a cold call, it just feels like awkward. So we get to see each other, get to know each other, and we know that we can find each other. If the Google Drive doesn't work, we can find each other in the Women in Podcasting
Right.
group. So make sure that you guys are in that group. Okay. I don't know if I'm gonna say this right, but Nasiha? I know I didn't do it right.
Hi, everyone. Every time I'm in a group and somebody says, I don't know if I'm going to say this right, I know that's my name coming up. So my name is Nasiha, and you did pronounce it right. Thank you so much. I am joining in from Toronto, Canada. And I very recently moved here, so enjoying the beginning of winter right now. So I am a podcast host, but I am coming back after a very long break. My podcast is called as Breathe Fit and Free with Nasiha Sheikh, and it's basically about. So I'm a big advocate about holistic health, and I have this saying that your health is a circle, and the circle starts with mental health. So I do everything related to mental, physical health, and emotional health. So basically, it's about victim to the warrior mindset. I have my own group called Breathe Warriors. I help women transform their lives, connect with themselves. And I also run a support group on trauma healing. And that's what I do with my podcast as well. And it creates awareness. I'm a podcast guest as well, where I speak about trauma healing. And everything is coming out of my own experience and my few years of experience dealing with other people, and a beautiful community that strengthens me every single day. So that's a little bit about what I do and what my podcast is about. And if you'd like to connect with me, I will share my links on the chat here. And it was lovely to meet all of you. And this is my first time here as well. So thank you so much for listening to me.
Great. Oh my goodness. I'm dying over here. Oh, Carly, how you doing?
Very good, thank you. All right, so since launching our podcast less than 5 months ago, we have already celebrated over 100,000 downloads, and we have a 5-star rating on Spotify with over 296 reviews. So hi, I'm Carly, and my sister and I have a podcast, and it is called Big Lash Energy. We are up here in Canada. She's in Vancouver and I'm in Calgary. So my sister is the host. You can hear me on a few of the episodes, but I prefer to stay behind the microphone. So I write the show notes, I help with the networking and whatnot. Our show is Big Lash Energy, and it is an encouragement podcast for women. So we discuss massive issues for women, things like sexual assault, marriages, faking orgasms, rebuilding after divorce. Do these sound like fun topics? No, not at all, but we bring personal experiences and prove that there is life after heartbreak, and you will find yourself laughing until you cry when you hear some of these raw, hilarious situations that Jana finds herself in. We are quite new on the scene, but we've already built a very loyal listenership, and we've received typically around 1,000 downloads every Wednesday when our weekly episodes drop. So women have become hooked on this podcast once they hear it. So we're just trying to get out in front of as many women as possible. And once they listen, we want them to become part of our tribe. So today we're looking to expand our reach and make connections with other podcasts that may share a similar listener base so we can discuss collaboration. So if that sounds cool to you, again, we are Big Lash Energy, and you can find us on Instagram at Big Lash Podcast, or we're on all the major platforms. And yeah, it's my first time here as well. Jana really wanted to be here today, but she's in transit. So next week or next time she will hopefully be here. But like I said, I don't like to do the talking, but I will try and represent us both today. Thank you very much. It's great to meet everyone.
Awesome. Yeah, and that reminds me, I forgot to say at the beginning that this event is on every third Thursday of each month. So I think for November is on the 17th, but I'm not sure yet. All the details will be first on the Woman in Podcasting page, and then we'll put it in the group and get to know each other. So for the people that first came in later, if you haven't done so, join the Woman in Podcasting group by going to Woman in Podcasting, that group. I have it in the chat. I don't know if it's working. I put the another link for the Google Drive so you guys can put your guys' information. I don't know if that one is working now. But if not, I'll still save the chat And when I post the recording in the group, in the comments, it will have all the information. So like, let's say Nikki wanted to connect with Deborah or whatever, then you can put it in the chat and then it will be like a reminder. Like, oh yeah, I did tell Deborah that I wanted to meet up with her. Let me get her information. So I'll save those too. Also, for information about VIP perks, becoming a member on the Women in Podcasting Network, you just go to womeninpodcasting.net. Let's keep going. Let's move into Line Brunette.
Hello, it's actually Lynn.
Lynn, sorry.
That's okay. Totally understandable. It's the French spelling of Lynn. Yeah, I came in late. So sorry, I was caught in traffic. So another Canadian here. So props to my fellow Canucks. I'm on Vancouver Island, so just a ferry ride away from Vancouver. I don't currently have a podcast. I've had several. I've been in podcasting almost 14 years now. So I've had several podcasts. I am about to launch one. So if you are a lover of coffee, that's a little hint that I'm going to be launching a podcast around that. It'll be a little bit different. I have an online radio station, and primarily for the last 4 years, I've been in the sort of the editing, consulting, auditing end of podcasting. And but I'm always looking for new podcasts that I'm happy to promote, connect people. I've just have met so many people over the years, and I love connecting really good. I love connecting people, period. So I'm here to like find out about some new podcasts, because I've got, that's what I listen to when I'm walking, driving, doing housework, all of that. So looking forward to listening to all of your ladies' podcasts, and seeing if I know somebody that I can connect you to be a good guest, or vice versa, right? So yeah, so my name is Lynn, and I'm happy to be here, and first time here. So if anybody wants any more information, my website is soundmachine.fm.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Sin Owens.
Hi, can you all hear me okay?
Yes.
Okay, awesome. So my name is actually Dr. Zen Johnson. I have a podcast that's titled Unlearning Life as We Know It. So it's all about, at a very soulful level, I am discussing just different patterns that we may have been living in life that we thought was right. And then all of a sudden there's either a bomb or a light bulb that goes off that says, this isn't working for me. And I'm bringing up different topics that are being talked about, that we're just saying, yeah, let's unlearn that and let's find a new way to go about it, instead of continuing to do the same thing, continuing the same cycles. I am also doing guest speaking as well. But this podcast in particular, I am the host of it. I started last month, officially launched last month. So it's been something that's really taken me outside of my own comfort zone, which has been nice. I'm actually really, really enjoying it. And it's been great, like connecting with all the, the people in the audience and everything. That's been awesome as well. So it's all about, self-empowerment. I am a self-empowerment coach. I do have a doctorate in business, a certified yoga instructor, and also a certified health coach as well. So I kind of touch all of those areas, but in general, it's all about just unlearning life as we currently know it, and to just build new cycles, build new ways of doing things. And so we have a lot of topics that I have coming in. It may be unlearning, sex as we know it as women. It may be, also unlearning, generational wealth. Like, what does generational wealth really mean? I have an episode on that even, where it's about more than just money, right? It's about like, let's go deeper than money. So it's about all those kinds of different topics that I'm going around. So yeah, this is my first time here, And I'm just interested to just see other people just in the business and connecting with others, networking. And if you would like any more information, I will also drop my link in the chat. You can also find me on Instagram and Facebook and also TikTok at Dr. Zen Johnson.
Awesome. Thank you so much for sharing
Thank
with
you.
us. Pillow Talk with the T podcast. I love that.
Hi, how you doing? So my name is Kwamia, but normally a lot of people can't pronounce it. So I normally tell people to call me Q Kwa or either Queen. So I am the founder, CEO, host, and creator of Pillow Talk with the T podcast. It's a podcast where we have open, unguarded, your truth, uncomfortable, candid conversations where we no longer sweeping anything under the rug, and we're having those uncomfortable conversations, and we're talking about the big pink elephant in the room. We're no longer ignoring them. Not only that, I'm also a Curvy Woman ambassador, self-love advocate, and I also am a founder of Empower Her Foundation, where I truly believe of being my sister's keeper and just igniting confidence, instilling the confidence, or reflaming that flame of confidence and security back into my sisters. I mean, they probably somewhere in some way lost it. And until they could find theirs, I am my sister's keeper. They could borrow my confidence, my security, and my non-give-a-fuck attitude until they actually, find theirs. So other than that, that's who we are. I'm basically wrapped up my 4th season. I'm everything with Pillow Talk. It's just me. So I wrapped up my 4th season. I'm going into season 5 after the new year. I'm looking for more people to collaborate with. If you're ready to talk about that uncomfortable conversation, ready to spill some tea and talk about that elephant in the room, hit your girl up. I could be able to be reached at. I put my information in the chat, but not only that, I'm also MC and also speaker, which I do speaking engagements and appearances because my podcast gave me that platform, the ability to be able to expand my brand even more. And along with a serial entrepreneur that I have so many things coming out. Pillow Talk coming out with a wine. We coming out with a sex toy line. And we have so many other things that we have coming up during the end of 2023 going into 2024. So you guys just
sounds good. Awesome, girl. I love that. Oh my goodness, I'm trying not to do a fangirl, but it's time for Heidi de la Cruz. It's so awesome because Dawn said Guatemala. So it's like Dominican Republic coming up and Puerto Rico in the house too. So Latin power here. Okay, sorry, I can't help myself.
You're
Go
so
ahead,
sweet.
Heidi.
Oh my gosh. I was a guest on Francie's Life with Francie podcast, and I felt like we became friends like instantly. Like we just had this connection. It was amazing. But yes, my name is Heidi de la Cruz, also pronounced Haiti in Spanish. I am the host of the American Dream in the Eyes of Immigrants podcast, where I interview immigrants of their journey coming to the United States. So I asked them about, when they came, culture shocks that they experienced, how they adapted living into a new country. And the reason why I started the podcast is because I am a child of immigrants and my parents migrated from the Dominican Republic. And so I know firsthand the struggles that immigrants go through coming and navigating into the United States. But also I am trying to change the narrative of immigration a little bit to a more empathetic and compassionate way. And I feel like that can be done when we actually sit down and listen to the struggles and what actually people go through with the whole immigration process. And it's very complex and very, there's a lot of things that happen and that can happen while immigrants are here and getting their status and everything. So I have also tried to provide facts and information of, the whole process. So I do have an episode with an immigration attorney who, speaks a little bit of the immigration process. And I am also a writer and a poet. So I'm also a guest, I also do guests on podcasts. Recently, I've just been talking about my book that I just published, Words from the Heart. It's poems. The poems have a lot to do with mental health, with being in a toxic relationship, with dealing with the death of my mom, and also dealing as a younger with her bipolar disorder. So there's a lot that goes on that talk about in the book. So I also talk about that on podcast guests, just what I went through, what I learned, try to help and empower women. I love networking. I love connecting with people. And yeah, so that's a little bit about me. I hang out on Instagram. I'm also trying to launch my own business, like a media business. So I want to help people with the writing, since I'm a writer, and I also want to help those who don't have podcasts get their podcast started, or those who do have podcasts, podcast management. So I'm trying to get all that business together. So yeah, so I hang out on Instagram. I'll include my links, and I can't wait to listen to all of your guys' podcasts.
Awesome. Thank you for sharing. And I wanted to know too that I saw Starlight say Panama. So shout out to Panama as well. Okay, Jasenia.
Hi guys.
Hello.
I go by JJ Triumph. I'm Jasenia. I'm a trauma-informed coach and parent educator, a writer, a filmmaker, and a business growth strategist. My focus is on helping people with social media and media production and being able to grow their small businesses. You can feel free to contact me. I'll post my information. My podcast name is Triumphant Journey, and I'm planning on launching it around Thanksgiving, right before the holidays, because I know there's like a drop in mental health right around that time with all the stress that comes from the holidays. I'm a domestic violence survivor. I'm a film student, a mom of two, and these are some of the things that I want to bring into my podcast, what it is to be a Latina, you know, and go cross country from New York to California and step into Hollywood, and what it is to take a hit on your mental health when you're colored and people don't exactly understand or know where to classify you. How to help get over certain humps, because I feel like we get programmed. We get programmed by media, we get programmed by family, by culture, and that process of deprogramming yourself and allowing yourself to really be you, it's a really long and difficult journey. And if you don't find like-minded people to kind of gather around you and really form a community, it can be hard to step into that space of loving yourself. And so I want everybody to be able to find a comfortable space where they can learn who they are, discover who they are, and actually be free with themselves.
Awesome. Thank you so much for sharing, everybody. I think that's everybody. I was trying to keep up. If I missed somebody, please raise your hand. Okay, so it's time to network. Does anybody got like any celebration or victories for the week or in the on the year? I'll start. I'm
Yeah.
gonna. Oh yeah. Sorry, who was that?
No,
There you
that
go.
that was me, Zen.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I do have a victory. So whenever I decided to launch this podcast, for me it's me doing my work, like a purpose, like a given purpose of the messages that I'm actually sharing. And I'm an introvert extrovert, so I'm very comfortable. I can talk like, oh my god, you'll say, oh, she's great. But after this, I'm gonna be like, okay, like I need to like rebuild all this energy that I just put out there. But after just releasing within like 3 weeks ago, after that first week, my podcast did get in the hands to someone else that runs retreats. And it's all about like self-empowerment and humanity and understanding that, you know, you're not alone and we are a team, but it's all about leadership. So teaching at a higher level. And based on just my 1 week, that first week, the podcast that I actually released out, I received a full scholarship for a year-long training to get certified within this program, which includes a 1-week trip to Mexico retreat. So I have a 1-year-old and a 4-year-old, so I'm pretty excited about this. And it's all because I stepped out. Yeah, yeah. Thank you.
Congratulations. That's an amazing celebration.
Yes.
And you just don't know what doors will open once you start to put yourself out there. For me, I have been into the podcasting world for 6-7 years. I got in because of mental health. I saw Lewis House of School of Greatness on the Ellen Show. And I was like, a podcast? What's a podcast? So I went in and I found so many people, you know, if I put depression or whatever, I will find so many podcasts. And then 2 years ago, I was keep saying, I'm going to have my own podcast. I'm going to have my own podcast. And my friends are like, okay, shut up about it, and actually hit record. So December of last year, I did 6-month solo episodes, not knowing where to go with it. And then a virtual assistant hit me up and was like, hey, I have a client that I think it will be a great guest for your podcast. And I took it as a sign from the universe that I was ready to do interviews. Well, that was in July. Now in October, I have recorded over 30 interviews. So like my podcast is covered for the year. And I have gotten 2 collaborations. One is with the Woman in Podcasting group. You know, she made me a leader in the community, and I get to host this podcast network event, and I love it. Anybody else want to share a celebration or a victory?
I do. I'll go ahead. I mean, this is my first time. However, there's just been a lot going on. I've been wanting to do this virtually, and because I've always held like group classes in our office. We've done things like on keto, we've done things on mindset, and we just did it's the last week of our 28-day reset, and virtually 100% of the women that are doing it are just having amazing breakthroughs, because it's just not all about the food. Everybody gets so caught up with diet and body image, and it's not all about the food, and just a lot of connections. So it's really neat to see that, and just really just saying, all right, well, it's time to start running that academy and open it up for, it's just not locally, but I work with patients all over the country and globally. So it's something that I've been wanting to do. And I'm like, okay, I'm just going to do it. I'm going to run with it. But just the fact that so much of the feedback that the women have been giving each other, but just giving me, is just like, that's like, I know that I'm on the right path. And what I think women are looking for right now is, I always say, it's the 2 C's, and it's mostly women here because of that. It's the collaboration and it's the community. I think when you have both collaboration and community, it's like, oh my gosh, it's unstoppable. So that's just one of my many wins. But yeah, just listening to all you ladies, I'm just very excited that you're more powerful than you realize. So just wanted to encourage you all.
Oh, thank you so much for that. I am loving it. I love the energy coming out. Oh, I got somebody else. Let's see. Hi, Trent.
Good evening. Sorry, I'm a little late.
Yeah, sorry. This is a Woman in Podcasting, and you sound like a male. I'm sorry.
Okay, no worries.
Alrighty. Sorry. I mean, it says it right there. woman in podcasting. I mean, I give it to him, he tried. It's okay. Is anybody like reading a good book to help you out in your expertise or podcasting? For me, I'm doing You're a Badass with Money right now. I'm trying to change everything. My mindset on money, scarcity mindset. I don't know if anybody else struggle with that.
What was the
share the
name of
book.
the book, Francine?
You're a Badass with Money by Jen Sincero, I think. I will put it in the comments.
Okay.
And then who else?
I think scarcity mindset or poverty mindset too, for a lot of people when it comes to money is probably one of the biggest challenges most people have, no matter where they are and whatever they're doing in their life, because as long as they believe that money is not easy to get, or they believe that it's not for them, or money is the root of all evil, it makes it harder for people to actually step into just something different and try something different, because they can only go so far. They can only make so much.
Yes,
I
ma'am.
haven't heard of that book before, so it sounds really cool.
Yeah, I put it in the chat. Was there anybody else that was trying to talk at the same time? I missed it.
Yeah, it was
there you
me.
go.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
No, the book that I'm currently reading has to do with my podcast. She came from Ethiopia, and it's called A Just Mission. And she's an immigrant, and the book is about how people in the United States go on mission trips to help other countries and things like that. So when she moved from Ethiopia, she tried to go on a missions trip, but like the church that she was in really wasn't letting her, because she was an immigrant, and she was kind of like, how are you not letting me go on a missions trip to my own country? You know what I'm saying? So she wrote this whole book just about trying to change a little bit how we should be doing missions trip, because there's a lot of things that we could be doing here in the United States, helping our own neighbors here, instead of trying to go out and help another country, right? So it's a really, really interesting book, and there's a lot of good points. And she gives also a lot of like how to do it, like not correctly, but like a better way of doing the missions trip. And one thing that really stuck out to me, because I've always thought that this was weird. I don't know if anybody else has thought this, but like when they go on mission trips, to like take a bunch of pictures and like videos and stuff, kind of like, hey, look at me, I'm over here helping, I've always found that so cringy, like really cringy. Like I understand, like, okay, you're trying to motivate other people to do the same, but like, what if those people don't want their pictures taken and blasted out? You know what I'm saying? So like that really, like, I'm halfway through the book, but that like really stuck out to me, because I've always found that so weird too. And I kind of want to give it to my pastor at the church that I go to, because he goes on, like my church goes to mission trip all the time. And like my pastor goes to Kenya all the time. So I kind of like want to give it to them. So I'll be like, hey, you guys should look at this resource. But that's the book that I'm reading now, and it just has to do with my podcast. And she's going to be a guest on my podcast as well. So I'm really, really excited to talk to her more about it, the book and everything, because it's a very interesting, like someone from the outside looking in, to like kind of show us like, hey, we can do this a better way, guys.
That's super cool. Thank you for sharing. Sorry, trying to read the chat. I'm trying to keep up with everybody. So yeah, any last words, last thought, tips, anything before we leave? Nikki?
I would just like to say thank you for doing this. And also, it was really amazing to finally be able to connect. I've known about women in podcasting for quite a while, and I just haven't been in the place to establish any kind of connections. I'm very, very excited to be here. And I just wanted to say thank you to everybody for all your energy. It's been so wonderful being here.
Thank you so much. And yeah, this is why we do it, because the community actually has 8,000 people in the group. But like, we really like when she posts every day, there's a theme, and we will have like 15 to 30 comments. So that's why we're trying to get the community to be active and to know that we can reach out to one another and support one another, because that's what we're here for. Jennifer is definitely like an angel on earth. I'm not just saying that because I have the collaboration. I actually follow her for like 8 months before I actually had a conversation with her. So I have learned a lot with her podcast, Woman in Podcasting. I watched the show on YouTube, and she truly tries to help women to monetize their podcast, because it's still like a male, whatever, you know what I'm trying to say? Like they take over the world. So it's like, stop it. Let us women do something. So she's just trying to help. So it doesn't matter like if you're starting out or if you have 15 years of experience, she wants to help you get to whatever your goal is. Okay, so some of the before we leave is the Woman in Podcasting Network.show.net, and if you like the one-on-one with her, is womaninpodcasting.net/Francie. And yeah, thank you so much for everybody sharing. I hope to see you again, and I have to get the information of a couple of you. So if I don't have the recordings today, probably by tomorrow, I will have it in the group. So hope you guys have a good night or good day wherever you're at.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Have a great one. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank
Bye.
you.
You're welcome. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.